I'd like to begin by saluting the captain of the ship, the visionary and courageous President Beverly Daniel Tatum. And also my dear sister, Germany Hardeman, who is the senior class president. You all know, anytime you're talking about graduation, Sly Stone is right when he talks about a family affair. It is a family affair. You think of all of that love and sacrifice and service, keeping track of each and every one of you. Let us give mama and daddy and grandmama and granddaddy and the uncles and the aunts and the Sunday school teachers and the pastors and the deacons and the deaconess and the brother on the corner and the hip-hop artists in the studio a hand. Let's give them a hand. Oh, yes. I think to myself, just being honored by Spelman College and receiving this honorary degree, and I say to myself, you can't honor me without honoring my mother, Irene B. West. You can't honor me without honoring my late father, Clifton West. You can't honor me without honoring Shiloh Baptist Church that shaped me, and my Reverend Willie P. Cook, who taught me, and my Sunday school teacher, Sarah Ray, who tried to keep track of me. We are who we are because somebody loved us, somebody cared for us, somebody kept track of us, somebody zeroed in on us, somebody made us feel like we were somebody. Let us never forget that. And I know my dear sisters here at Spelman, because y'all understand this already, don't you? Because you've been wrestling with this fundamental question of what the Greeks call paideia, P-A-I-D-E-I-A. It's not just schooling, it's deep education. Deep education. And it has to do with wrestling with the most terrifying question you will ever ask yourself. It's echoes of line 38a of Plato's Apology, where he says, the unexamined life is not worth living. The unexamined life is not worth living. But then I can hear in the background Sister Lorraine Hansberry and Sister Toni Morrison saying, the examined life is painful. You've got to have courage. You've got to be brave. Recognize it takes more courage to examine the dark corners of your own soul than it does for a soldier to fight on the battlefield. You have to be courageous to be a free thinker, to think critically against the grain. And let's go back to the Greek. The Greek actually says the unexamined life is not a life for the human. The human. You know our English word human comes from the Latin humando. And humando means burying, burial. That's where the word humanity comes from and humility comes from, and being humane because you're tied to the earth. You're down to earth. You're unpretentious. You're tied to the soil. How come? Because you're wrestling with the question, what does it really mean to be a featherless, two-legged, linguistically conscious creature born between urine and feces? That's who we are. Put on my three-piece suit and this robe if I want to. I'm not going to forget about my mama's love push that got me out. That's what George Clinton and James Brown and Mary J. have in mind. We say we all emerge in the funk. Always have a reverent attachment to those things in your life that constitute the source of what keeps you going, which allows you to persevere, allows you to endure. That's what piety is at its deepest level. And that's why paideia has to do with a sense of history. And that's why this class of high quantity and magnificent quality is such an inspiration to those of us of the old school. I'm talking about Motown, Philly Sound, Stax, Aretha Franklin, Al Green, Luther Vandross, the Whisper Stylistics, and the main ingredient. That's old school. Curtis Mayfield. That's old school. And we say to the young school, oh, what a rich tradition you have if you choose to build on it, but keep in mind what the Negro national anthem is. Lift every voice, which means don't be an echo, be a voice. Don't be an echo, be a voice. Part of the challenge of your generation is we got too many copies out here, not enough originals. Got too many imitations and not enough creations. Folk just trying to fit in. How come? Because they've been told that success is becoming well adjusted to the status quo. But don't be well adjusted to injustice. Don't be well adapted to indifference. Indifference is the one trait that makes the very angels weep. Indifference is the essence of inhumanity. It's about compassion. The age of Obama, now that the age of Reagan is over. Yes, that age of Reagan, all that greed and indifference and polarized politics of fear, that's over now. It's the age of Obama. It's the age of Obama. And you all will help shape that age of Obama. And what is the age of Obama? The age of Obama is about the empowerment, the enablement, and the ennoblement of those Sly Stone called everyday people, or those the late great James Cleveland called ordinary people. We got to focus on everyday people, ordinary people. The least of these echoes of the 25th chapter of Matthew. The orphan, the widow, the poor, the disabled, the marginalized, those whose suffering has been rendered invisible by the age of Reagan. That's the challenge of my dear sisters, and let us be very clear. Oh, you just flourishing and flowering at your best. The next wave of leadership, not just black leadership, not just American leadership, global leadership, will be disproportionately leadership of sisters of all colors, and I hope disproportionately black and brown and yellow and red, which means you have to pick up the mantle. You have to step forward. Will you have the courage to think critically? Will you have the courage to love? Will you have the courage to hope? That's the question. And that's what it is to be a blues people, because the blues ain't nothing but an autobiographical chronicle of a personal catastrophe expressed lyrically. That's all it is. B.B. King said, nobody loves me but my mama, and she might be driving too. That's the blues, y'all. Oh, the strange fruit the southern trees bear that Billie Holiday sing about, black bodies swaying in the southern breeze. That's the blues. Even in the age of Obama, we got too many brothers and sisters who's wrestling with the blues, the catastrophic. And that's the challenge of the leaders that I see here in the class of 2009. Do you all have what it takes to meet this challenge? Do you have what it takes? You have what it takes? I think you do. I salute you. Be strong. Stay focused. And don't confuse success with greatness. I want each and every one of you to be successful. I want you to be highly successful. But remember, he who she is greatest among you will be your servant. What is the quality of your service to others? What is the depth of your love to others? What kind of price are you willing to pay for a love, for a deep, deep commitment to justice? Thank you all so very much. We love you, class of 2009, Spelman College. The sky is the limit.